the man responsible for bringing the series to a close. David Yates, how are you?
I'm very good. This is amazing, isn't it? I think we could have made a bit of an effort, though. Crikey, it's marvellous, absolutely wonderful.
It's quite a special event, but it's quite a special movie. I mean, it is the final Harry Potter. Did you feel a huge amount of pressure being the one responsible for bringing this final book to an end?
There's always enormous amounts of pressure when you're making any one of these films, but it was exponentially large with the last one. But everyone who works on these films has a real passion about the material. And so we all just put our heart and soul into it, and we're really thrilled with the final result, and we think the fans will be too.
And it's huge in scale. I mean, this is an action movie like no other. What was your favourite part of shooting the action?
You know, action's always really complicated to shoot and very time-consuming. So actually, sometimes it's the smaller scenes that are actually more fun to shoot. But and I had a really wonderful second unit director, Stephen Wolfenden, who's my partner in crime, who spends lots of long night shoots putting some of those big action pieces together. But I love all the battle scenes, and my favourite is probably the big fight that we did between Voldemort and Harry, the final confrontation. And there's a moment where Harry and Voldemort are grappling on a precipice, and that's a really cool moment.
Yeah, I read that was actually your very favourite scene. Obviously, I don't want to give too much away, but it's Harry simply walking through the woods.
There's something very moving about that sense of him needing to sacrifice everything for his friends and for, you know, his family. So, and, you know, it is a big action picture. There's lots of battles, there's lots of spectacle, but at heart, there's something very moving about the story as it concludes. And I think there's a really beautiful mix of action and quite tender, moving things as we come to the end of the story.
Now, it seems like the props of this film have been kept under lock and key. I keep asking people if they managed to take anything away from set, and no one's managed anything. I think Tom Felton took Draco's ring. Did you, as the man in charge, manage to pilfer anything?
You know, I've got a couple of things, purely for research purposes, of course. In future years, I need to... I've got a beautiful Beedle the Bard book, which was in Hallows Part 1, and the producers on my first Harry Potter film, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, they sneakily had a portrait made of me, which they hung in the Great Hall as a gift, and I managed to snaffle that out.
Oh, good stuff. I love the word snaffle as well. Good use of the word snaffle. David, have a wonderful premiere. It's been great talking to you.
See you. Yeah, take care.
Right, we're back over with Edith, who has Steve Clovis, the screenwriter of the film, with her.
Yeah, Steve's just been taking a few snaps just for, well, memories, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm a sort of amateur photographer, so I couldn't resist this.
You're never going to remember, you're never going to forget this. This is the most, is it? I mean...
Well, no, I've never been to the London premiere, so it's kind of unbelievable. I mean, I didn't know it was this, in this scale. It's remarkable.
How do you start? Where do you start with the words of J.K. Rowling to turn them into the right words of telling the story for screen?
I start where all the fans do. Is, you know, I read the book and try to just read the book and experience it, and then I try to think of the movie I want to see, and then I don't think it's any really different than most fans. I mean, and I just have to sort of try to make it happen.
Is it hard to condense it?
Oh yeah, because as all the fans know, the brilliance of Joe's work is in the details, and it's hard to maintain all those details when you only have 2.5 hours.
And once you've done your part in terms of script writing, do you leave it alone? Are you involved in the whole filming process as well? Are you there on set? How does it work?
Not on set, but I'm very involved, obviously, up into leading into shooting, and then I see a cut, I give a reaction, I talk to David Yates during the shooting. He's very inclusive. It's one of the great things about working with him.
Well, listen, enjoy today, because what a way to go out. Thank you so much. Cheers. Back to you, Alex.
Thank you very much, Edith. I'm here with one of the film's producers, none other than David Barron. David, you just said to me, this is crazy, isn't it? What's going through your head?
It is just extraordinary. I never in my wildest imagination figured that we could get more people than we had before, but we must have twice as many or 3 times as many.
I know, right? Because you've been at every premiere in the Leicester Square. We've taken over Trafalgar Square. It is crazy.
It is. I've always thought that Leicester Square was the biggest it could ever be. But actually, everyone's out here. They braved the rain. You're incredible, everybody.
That is the producer of Harry Potter telling you all, you're incredible, and you are. Some of them have been here since Monday as well. It really is insane. Now, let's talk about the film. How different was it making this final film in terms of the emotions, I guess, on set compared to the previous films?
I think the emotional impact didn't really hit till right at the very end, actually, and because when you're in the middle of it, you've got your head down, you're looking at what you're doing, and you can't really see off to the side. But when we got to the very last shot, there was a whole group of us who thought that we were beyond the emotional part, because we were going to be carrying on through post-production. We'd be there for a year, we'd die a death of 1,000 cuts, and we'd be okay when it was over, but we all cried a little bit.
But it's been such a journey for you. I mean, do you have a real high point? Was it finishing this final film, or was that a little too emotional?
It's been a series of high points, actually, because we've been very proud of every film we've made. We've had this kind of reception, not as big as this, but you know, a similarly enthusiastic reception, and you can't fail to be impressed and to be just blown away by that level of enthusiasm for what we do. So it's everything. It's a high point from beginning to end.
Well, David, listen, I'm going to let you go and enjoy this crazy, as you said, premiere, but have a great time.
Thank you very much indeed. Lovely to see you here.
Thank you very much. Well,